Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Raspberry
And I'm Ripple.
and today it's going to be part 2 of getting the squirrels.
On Trials Rising, and I've got no part in this, so I will hand you over to Raspberry.
Yeah, it took me a few times and a few takes to get it, so let's go straight into it and roll the intro. Right, this first one is now beach bum. At the start, you're going to bail off backwards and using the bumpers and the grab button, try and wriggle the way back to get the squirrel on this one. This one is the Grave of Giants. Just after checkpoint 6, hit the next ramp hard, and then there's an actual ball that you've got to bail out just to hit. And then on this one, you'll actually see the break through, and you'll see the squirrel on the bottom. And then once you go through, there's a set of fans that you've got to make yourself to the end of through the actual pipes, and the squirrel's there for you to grab. Next one is Balloons Over Bagan. What you do is you hit the first hot air balloon, as you see here, and you stay on it. The balloon will rise, and you've just got to time the actual jump. Right, we'll move closer towards the set of the hot air balloon. See the red and black one there? What you've got to do is time it right and land on it. If you stand it too long, the hot air balloon will go back away from it, so you've got to time it right. And that's that one. The next one, I believe, is Shipping. On this one, after checkpoint 6, you normally ride up on a container. You've got to drop back off it, and there's a button, I believe. Here you see it. You just go up on the container, go upwards, and then roll backwards. And there's a button below. As soon as you hit that, an explosion goes off, and the squirrel's just in the next container above. This one is Chinese Clifford. On this one, it's a three-parter, I believe. On this one, this one is a three-parter? Or am I getting confused? No, this one ain't the three-parter. I'm thinking of the next one. This one's at checkpoint 7. You get your bike on fire, front wheel, roll backwards till you hit the line that will ignite the barrels underneath, and then you try and land it, and the actual squirrel's underneath. You'll see. It took me a couple of attempts. I think this was the 4th attempt, I think. Next one is Thousand Cloud Village. When you pass checkpoint 13, you'll see the giant bell. You need to bail out and hold Y to hold on to the bell, and what you're doing is you're rocking the stick backwards, left and right to get the bell to ring. Once it's rung a few times, the actual fireworks will go off in the background. I didn't notice that until Ripple told me, but the actual fireworks will go off in the background, and then you'll know that it's actually accepted that you've done it. Let's have a look. There you go, they've gone off there, and you just restart again, push B, get back on your bike, and then what you do is you just head towards the exit, and then once you're at near the end, the actual squirrel appears on the actual track. I will stop and show you on this one. There it is, it's just there. Next one is Wheels of Steel. Was I noticed Spirit of the Mountain? I'm very sorry. This one is, once you get to checkpoint 5 and dislodge the boulder, you get ahead of it along the bottom path though. Don't go over the top path, go along the bottom path, and then you'll go through onto an actual water zone, and you've got to be careful of the actual mines in the actual water. If you hit the mines, then obviously you just have to redo it again. Sometimes it is frustrating because a little slip of a button on the accelerator and you actually hit the mine. You'll see it, you just go into the water, and you just got to avoid the red mines and get to the end. Once you're at the end, it will shoot you up to the top. I've done this a few times and it's actually shot me up to the top, and I haven't landed it. Like there, I've spanned and just haven't landed it. There it is, there's the squirrel. Next one is Wheels of Steel now. This one is beyond checkpoint 11. You've got to bail out at the top of the ramp and hold the actual triangle grab button, or the actual Y button, and there's a chain. So once you've held onto it, the chain will automatically lift up. Just showing some of the skills. There you go. If you want once you hit it, you can bail out, and as soon as you hit the chain, it will grab and it will take you upwards. And you've got to swing from left to right to actually get this one, and the actual rams there, piston rams, you're trying to time it right so you can get through. And let go, and then the squirrel's there. Did take me 15 attempts to do this one. Next one is Ruined Run. After checkpoint 5, roll slowly onto the lift and then reverse off it, and it's down obviously below the lift where it's actually gone up. As soon as you hit this lift, it's actually below the lift, so what you do is you actually go up and try and avoid getting squashed, and the actual squirrel's underneath. Done that first go, luckily enough. Next one is Firebase Faceplant. After checkpoint 7, as soon as you go over a shipping container, just reverse backwards. This one's really easy. Just reverse backwards into the shipping container, and the actual squirrel is in the container. This is actually quite a good map. I quite enjoy this map. As I said, checkpoint 8, roll backwards into the shipping container, and it just open up. And there's the squirrel. Next one is Siberian Express. This one is quite tricky. Sometimes it can be really frustrating. You just got to get towards the end of the map, and you've got to bail out before you finish in between two of the actual shipping containers behind the finish line. As you can see, it took me 71 goes just to get it through. It is very tricky. The trick on that one is just to brake as you're just finishing and then bail out, so you're lifting of your back wheel off. And you just do a swimming technique, which takes some time. This is a pretty good wall. This is a 3-pointer. You have to do 3 things in this one to actually get the squirrel on this one. You get to checkpoint 2. Once you're at checkpoint 2, you bail out behind you, and there's a little pad on the floor, and it sets off a firework. Once you've set off that firework, you just push B to start again, and then you'll go to the next one, which will be after checkpoint 5. Just as soon as you drop over this ramp, it's just off the wall there, so just make sure you hit the pad, the firework will go off, and then it's done. The third one is as you get thrown up, I think it's by the actual firework lift ramp. It's literally on the actual cliff wall the other side, so just bail out straight away when you're going up and just try and stick to the wall, and you should get it up there. And then to get the actual squirrel, the golden squirrel, is at the finish line again. You bail out and you've got to clear the box at the bottom, and the actual squirrel is in the hidden building behind. You can see the actual squirrel, there you go there. Next one is Vietnam Vaults. After checkpoint 3, jump onto obviously the platform in front, and then you'll have an explosion that will come from behind you. What will happen is the actual boulder will knock through the explosion, will create a cave that you drop down into. Here you just hold up, and then you have the explosion you can drop down into. This can get really frustrating. As soon as you hit one of them barrels, that is it. You have to keep doing it over and over again. It is very tricky. It did take me a few attempts, and then I think this was one of the footage that we actually lost, and it really frustrated me because it took me so long to get it again. But as you can see, the squirrel's just there. Next one is Angkor Wat. This is actually a difficult one as well. When you reach checkpoint 13, you need to eject and hold up on the left stick. If you get enough height, you will get it. Honestly, this one can take some time to get. But like I said, I'm not a pro gamer. I'm not like a Trials, like every game I've had. But it is possible to get this one. It's just taking your time, and here you go, look, checkpoint 13. The idea is eject before you get to the top of the ramp, because if you eject after the ramp, you're going to get thrown forward, and then the actual squirrel is there. Next one is Siberian Skies. This one you need to do a complete run, so you reverse at the start, hit the switch, and then you've got to get to checkpoint 4, I believe it is, and then just after checkpoint 4 there's a hidden hatch that you actually fall down. You can't fail on this. If you fail, you have to go from the start again and turn the switch on again, reverse into the switch, and then do it. just after checkpoint 4 you see the actual hidden hatch that's actually opened, and you just fall into it and the actual squirrel's down there. And you fall into it. Next one is Eiffel Tower. This one is what you're doing is you get into checkpoint 8. This is actually a really good map, I love this map. And you just reverse backwards and you just got to drop into the actual ledge there just after checkpoint 8. As you see, it does take a few attempts. Is this the 9th attempt? And I lucked out on this one. This one was really lucky, and the squirrel's just there. The next one I've got is One Man's Trash. This one you got to, I think this is after checkpoint 8 again, I believe it is. Oh no, it's checkpoint 11, sorry. Don't quote me on 8, it's 11. You bail out into the little hole there, and you go into like a pinball type game where the actual squirrel's at the bottom. Don't panic if you don't get it at first time. If you don't get it and you drop down one of the holes, you just reappear in another hole. So don't feel like you have to get it first time. You'll just continuously keep dropping and dropping through it. Next one is Greek Grapes. After checkpoint 4, you'll ride over the top of a well, and then you just bail out into the well, bail out backwards into the well, and then you'll fall down into an actual, obviously water where the well is. And then you have to swim to get to this next squirrel. To get to the squirrel, you need to swim at the junctions. You go right, down, left and down, and then you'll find the squirrel at the bottom. We'll show you obviously in the video. So you go into the well, and you swim down. I did speed this one up because it does take obviously quite a long time to swim and move. So like I said, you go right, down, right, down, then left, down, and the squirrel is there. Next one is Bucharest Breakdown. Slow down obviously when you get to checkpoint 8 and you go inside the tunnel and it goes into like a long range camera mode. As soon as you drop off the end of the actual ramp, it's actually hidden by all the trash cans, I think trash cans, with rubbish bags. It's actually hidden beyond there. As you can see, I've done pretty good on this level. It's going quite well until I got to checkpoint 8, and then decided to give up the ghost on me. We go at checkpoint 8, and then all of a sudden, there you go. Like I said, you get there, be careful not to obviously overbrake because you'll just keep flipping it, and it's behind the old rubbish bags. Next one is Pripyat. After you pass checkpoint 10 and you do a backflip obviously onto the collapsing platform, hold the position and just roll back slowly, and there's another a girder, a metal girder underneath that you just got to fall onto, and the actual squirrel, the actual squirrel is head first down the toilet. So just make sure you get your head down the toilet. It's like a Saturday, Sunday morning thing. Next one is Finish Flash. On this one, when you ride the lift at checkpoint 11, you got to reverse backwards. Once you reverse backwards off the actual top of the lift, you'll fall into some ice, and the ice will break, and the actual squirrel is inside the actual ice when it's broken. Sometimes you will break the ice, and you won't get it on that time, but just restart the checkpoint and do it again, and then you will get it. Or if you leave it long enough, like I think I did here, you float towards it and it will get. Okay, there's the actual squirrel. And we're on to Frozen Fall. This is the last one. At this one, it's the actual final checkpoint as you're crossing the finish line. This is on the actual Christmas tree, right at the very top. You've got to bail out. This one, I'd say difficulty out of 10. This is at least a 9 for me. You've got to bail out at the top and get it. As you can see, it took me 27 times, but that was just on one occasion. So if you like what you see, thanks for watching, and subscribe, and I'll bring you some more videos soon.